there. So today we are about to turn this beautiful armoire from colorless and really just not so great looking into a beautiful blue antique looking masterpiece. So I'm going to show you all the steps in doing it, and hopefully you can follow along and learn a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start with mixing colors. So I have this can full of black paint, so I'm going to put a little bit of black in here. Okay, we're just kind of eyeballing it. And then we're going to mix this blue color in with it too. So we're trying to get just a really dark blue base. And so I've made this little color right here, I'll show you. Really dark colors are really in the cracks, in the creases. So I'm just going to go over and do all of these, all of these creases in here. So any part that is really just indented in, I'm going to accentuate the highlights and the shadows. And this part does not have to be perfect, since we're going to do many layers on top of this. Painting is all about layers. Okay, so really quick, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing when I'm brushing on this color. So I'm getting up in there, and right after I got the brush wet in here, I just stuck my brush right up in that crack right there. So that way it just really gets all of that paint right up in there. And then I just do a really short dry brush on both sides. And that just really helps to just blend it. And so I'll show it again. So I'm just going to dip my brush, and you're really just getting the tip in there, and you're just sticking it up there and just right along. Also, you want to do right in the sides here. So be aggressive with it. This is going to be a couple different layers of paint. So this layer doesn't matter as much. We're just making sure to get coverage. So right in here, and then just do a dry brush and kind of hold your brush down and slowly kind of lift it up as you go. You just do it really lightly. So like over here, hold it down and just lift it up as you go. And what that causes is it causes it to be really dark right in here, and then just really light right in the middle, which is the effect that we want. And then I'm just gonna do all of this really quick, and I'll probably fast forward it for you. That way we can get to the next step. And actually, I just have some straight black that I'm going to put on here too, just to give it some really deep color. So this is just straight black. Now it might be kind of hard to see with the glare. I'm outside right now, and it's actually about to start raining. So we'll see how this goes. But, so like, see how some parts are just a bit darker? Okay, well if you can't see it, then just strategically place some black in the darkest parts. And you don't have to do this everywhere, so like I'll put a little bit of black here, and then I might not do the rest of it all the way down. And then I might put a little bit of black up here, just to give it a little variation. It's really, the more unique we can make it and the less symmetrical we can make it, the cooler it looks, you know? Because things in nature are just really uneven. Like trees, they grow kind of a little bit of everywhere, and that's really what makes them unique. So painting something like this, you don't want it to be uniform everywhere. You want it to just be a little bit of everything. Okay, so now that we have the base color on with the black and the dark blue, let's lighten it up a little bit. And we're going to start out with using a little bit of this dark color. I'm just going to pour a little bit into a different bowl, That way we can keep this color just in case we need to touch up later, or just in case we put a little bit too much light color. Set that aside. Then I'm going to mix in a little bit of this cream color. Just pour it in here. Just a little bit. And we're just going to mix that up and see what happens. So now we've got this just much lighter blue color. We're just going to test it out. Ooh, it's really light. I'm going to take a little bit of that. We're just going to rub that right on there like a dry brush. Very dry brush. Go up a little bit, see how it goes. And if you need to blend it on the side, do a little bit of that. But kind of see how it leaves this really cool texture right in here? Let's try to leave that. That just looks really cool. And then bring it down. We're just really just going really lightly with the brush. I mean, maybe even just taking the rag and lightening it up just a little bit. So you just take that rag and it really just helps to blend it back. It's not just overbearing. Yeah, I have a little bit more over here and less over here. It's just really irregular. I'm just keeping it really light and blending it on the sides right here. Okay, so now we'll do a little bit on this side here. Really just dry brushing this texture all up and down there. So it makes that really cool just design right there. That's super neat. Just kind of let it rub on there just really lightly. I mean, I am barely touching this to my brush to the wood. There we go. Yeah. Very cool. So now you always just want to go the way the wood is going. So if you kind of look, so here I just went all the way over when really the wood is going this way. So really should just take it and go up with it. Pay attention to how the wood is laying. So this piece of wood is laying horizontally, this one's vertically. So you want to paint horizontally and vertically. Like that. So pretty. So right here. There you go. These are actually supposed to go up and down. So we can just kind of do a little bit of that. So this is all about layers. So the first layer was our dark blue. Second layer is the black. And then third layer is our light blue, and then the fourth will be our lightest color. You always want to go really dark to really light. So that one's supposed to go up and down, but I kind of did that the wrong way, but that's okay. It kind of gives it a little bit of character. So notice how there's a lot over here, there's some really dark spots over here, really dark down here. It's just kind of a little bit everywhere. So you can do it on your own however you'd like, as long as it's irregular. Just think of making it super weird. The weirder, the better. I'm just going to take some of that cream color. That cream color that we just put on, this one. I'm actually just going to take this color instead of white and see how it goes. Again, I'm just softly rubbing my brush up against it. Bam! Looks cool, huh? So notice we're going over some of the marks we had already made. And that's just what layering is. Sometimes you're painting completely over what you just painted. That's okay. Boom. Yeah. That looks cool. Kind of just right along the edge, you know? so lightly. I am barely touching, and then I'm just letting go as I get farther away. Over here. Really, you don't want to touch it too much. Oop, like that. I don't really like that. So I can just kind of erase it basically with this wet rag. There, that looks cool. How many times am I going to say that looks cool? It does. Over here, we're just barely touching the outside. I'm going to show you just an up-close version of what we're doing here. So notice how I am just, there's barely any color going on there because I am barely touching it with my brush. Oh. There. We're really just dry brushing it in these areas. So I'm gonna push my brush down really hard if I want it to be a really condensed area of light color, and then dry brush it, so barely put my brush on it at all if you want it to be speckled like this. And see how that just makes a really cool color on there? Not bad. I'm impatient, so I'm not even going to wait for it to dry, and I'm going to take this cream color and just get it really wet on my brush. We're just going to do some highlights. Actually, that's too much. I'm just going to do the highlights right in here. And again, just dry brushing, kind of almost even going over. You want to go over maybe half of what you had just done with the light blue. So you're going over stuff you've already painted, but that's just layering. It needs to have like a gradual buildup of color from really dark to over really lightly. Just make some really cool marks. So this is a bit lighter than this, but that's okay. It just makes it different. Okay, and then we're just going over here and doing that same thing, putting some light blues and just really just rubbing your brush on it ever so lightly. Just do little bits of it, so just right there maybe. Yeah, not bad. So now I just stepped it back so you can see the whole picture. So as you can see, there's just a whole lot of dark right in here, maybe a less dark right in here. It's just really irregular, which is what makes it really unique. Yeah. So now I'm going to do basically this technique to the entire thing. So I'm going to speed it up again real quick.